Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to talk to you about education and family. My name is Romano, Dr. Julius Romano. For the people who do not know me, they have to know the fact that I have been in the government, working in a government position for 22 years. I was a treasury officer. I reached the rank of lieutenant colonel, and after that I went into academia. Meanwhile, while I was doing my government job, I also instruct, so I was also in academia, partly in academia. So I'm very familiar with the educational issue and problem all around in the United States and all around the world, as a matter of fact, which are the same. Our youth is suffering from depression, from attention deficit disorder. It's a traumatic experience of the childhood, which impact their way of learning and so on. We all know this, but how we can resolve the educational issue and at the same time grapple with the racial issue, which is also attached to educational issue, because if you have better education, you can resolve also the racial aspect, racial conflict, racial issue in town, and we have many we live in. So how can we resolve that? I'm sorry for the little noise. Anyway, how can we resolve this? First of all, you remember, many of you remember, in the 60s, Martin Luther King, okay, the great Afro-American leader, speaking about the civil rights, right? Now, the civil rights movement of the 60s, propounded by the Afro-American leader Martin Luther King, and exhausted also in a sense and completed by President John Fitzgerald Kennedy. We stood on national TV and said, this human right are as old in the scripture. We need to be guarantee equalities. We asked, he was speaking with the terminology of the time, he said the Negro of America. We asked them to go to war, so we cannot offer them less than we offer here in the nation to all the other people of America. So we made a call for equality, and we need to have the equality established now. That was President John Fitzgerald Kennedy in this famous civil rights movement speech. So I'm telling you, the problem was already approached then and studied then. It was never applied. The solution was never applied. When Martin Luther King said, I have a dream that the child of black man be playing together with a child of white man. That's exactly how we resolve racial issue. We allow the children to play. We don't have segregated community, and so the white play with the white, the Vietnamese play with the Vietnamese, the other. We are all American. We should play together. I'm myself an Italian Sicilian. I know what discrimination is. I mean, in the late 1800s, we were called the Dagos. Okay, we were accused of gunning down police chief Hennessy in New Orleans, and we were all innocent, and yet 12 of us were hanged in the jail, supposed to protect us, and instead we're all hanged. So let me tell you, discrimination, racial issue, ignorance, indifference, they're all concerning all of us, so we cannot just ignore that. We need to resolve the problem if we want a better and just society. We all breathe the same air. We all drink the same water, although here in Shreveport, unfortunately, we have to boil the water once in a while. Then we all inhabit this Caddo Parish, right? We all cherish our children's future, and we are all mortal. We don't want to die after a racial issue because of, misplaced trust in the other with a different color of his skin, and we don't want that. Let me tell you, there was a shooting just outside my house 2 days ago. Many of you have seen me on TV, on local TV. I am tired of this. I'm sick and tired to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of or repeating the same things, which is, let's resolve the racial issue. Let's make sure that the many who are struggling are safe and secure, and so we can also make the environment safe and secure for the so-called rich. In fact, the middle class has been disintegrated not only in the United States but everywhere in the world. So the motto is here: if we cannot protect the many who are poor, we cannot save the few who are rich. So we need to address the educational issue, because guess what? There is a lot of money coming in from a state. Millions of dollars allocated every year in the excess of over $50 million. So what we do with the $50 million, we definitely don't make an academy with few students, the best, the few, the best, the proud, the Marines of education. No! We are going to allocate the resources so the vast majority of the children are the beneficiary of these allocated funds for education, state education. So let's do it. I encourage you to see the opportunity and the possibility of electing me as mayor. My name is Julius Romano, Dr. Romano, ballot number 70. I'm number 70, 70. 7 has a great magical power, is a very important number. 70. You vote for number 70. Dr. Romano, Romano the cheese, if you like it to remember me as a cheese, right? But I'm not cheese, I am flesh and blood. But when elected mayor, thank to you, I will not forget you. There will be cheese for everyone and no string attached, no mouse trap. We need to allocate this fund for the kids, not for the few. Not for the few. If we cannot protect the many who are poor, we cannot save the few who are rich. Period. Thank you. Vote for Romano, November 8, 2022. November. Remember November. Thank you.